Let's talk about something nicer. Let's talk about Florida. Fennell, would you like to lead us into the Florida conversation, please? How did I know it would start with that?
Let's go.
I just think that the whole notion, the whole idea of someone standing behind that kind of curriculum just shows me the depth of Republican insanity and racism, and that anybody who stands behind it and does not speak up to say how outrageously ridiculous this is tells me why that there's not a single person on that stage, and this includes Tim Scott, he did say a little bit of something, that none of them deserve to be president of the United States.
Let's go.
The first thing I could think of was, it's like telling someone who maybe, let's say like their family was murdered in their home while they slept as a kid, you know, and they lost their siblings and their parents, and they lived 20 years of their life that way, but everyone kept saying, but it's okay because it made you a stronger person. Like, you, like, that's not okay. Like, even if it did make them a stronger person, that's the worst way to like kind of justify not wanting to confront something that's uncomfortable to confront. It was horrifying. And then, like, I just have to say, look at the coded language being used here in terms of even just the name of the program. It's an acronym for woke, right? And when I saw that, I was just like, it shows how much like a lot of his policy is not based on substance. It's like a Pavlov's dog kind of thing, this jargon that he uses, you know, this dishonest slang that they're using to kind of cover up the fact that they can't evolve. It's totally Pavlov's dog. And like, when I saw the part of the clip of him saying, this is very thorough, it's very factual, and nobody is buying their nonsense anymore, I was just like, thorough and factual? Like, so did you live through this time period? Like, are your facts any more truthful than the hundreds of years of history? And I'm at the point where I can't, like Fennell said, I can't believe that we're having these discussions, that this is something that someone put out there and thought would be okay for the masses. Because again, no matter what you think, you have to kind of govern from a place that is going to appeal to people. And in so many ways, this party just doesn't care about appealing to people anymore. It's like, even the will of the people. Well, we're enacting the will of the people. Well, 65% of the country wants you to leave abortion alone, but they keep acting as if that's not the case. I don't understand how they glom onto these ideas like this, which completely deny reality and continue to exist as if this is the way it is.
Well, they justify it in means that are both pathetic and laughable, but this isn't a party that has platforms anymore. They create villains and demons, and then they say, hey, we're going to go slay that person for you. We're going to go take that person out because they want to rip apart the way you live your life in your home. And they are doing all kinds of disgusting things just around the corner from any place you are. You never see it, but trust me, it's there. Trust me. Trust me, this is something you need to be afraid of. It fires people up, but it's not something that is going to drive a lot of Republican voters away. I think they'll always justify it by saying, I vote for the economy. I vote for good old standard Republican values. And so what the party and what DeSantis and people end up doing is just creating a storm of hate pointed at one group of human beings in this country. And that is how the Republican Party operates now, this endless circle of hatred and nothing behind it. And it's frustrating to me as somebody who isn't a Republican to be seeing it happening, but I do feel badly for these people because I don't think that a lot of them are voting, they're marching to the polls because they're scared, they want to put down the drag queens. I don't think that's what leads them there, but that also won't drive them away.
I'll tell you what, I think that hating the drag queens, hating Black people, hating people who are other, is why many of them go to the polls. I would like to think differently. There are some of them who don't, but they do. And they do because they see some of the same things that we see. There are Republicans who are former Republicans, some who are still Republicans, who are sounding the alarm every day telling us about these things. And yet the polls still show people supporting Donald Trump endlessly. And this is why this is true. You have to look at these rallies Look at the people who are supporting them. It says more about them than it says about Trump.
Let's go.
They're the ones who are after these policies. They're the ones who are driving around in their trucks with Go branding. They're the ones who have the stickers, the Confederate flags. They're the ones who are at the school meetings, school board meetings. It is them. It is the moms of liberty. They know what hate looks like. We know what it feels like.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to You Can't Beat Blue on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And you can send your questions and comments to me directly at youcan'tbeatblue@gmail.com. I answer them all.